How are you feeling after this timeline shift we just experienced? Since my last video, I've been feeling more and more dizziness, nausea, brain fog, and even physical fog, like suspended animation within the void, within source energy. Or maybe you feel nothing out of the ordinary. And does that mean you're not on the new timeline? You're not ascending as fast as the rest of us, or not ascending at all? I assure you that if you're listening to this podcast, you are ascending, symptoms or not. You have shifted timelines. All of humanity has. So honestly, count yourself lucky if you don't have symptoms. And if you do, then break out your toolkit, because life goes on whether we can cope or not. Jobs, relationships, exercise routines, making dinner, it's all got to get done whether we are grounded on Earth or floating up in higher dimensions. Welcome to your multidimensional journey. I'm Tracy Canberra, and my guides and angels are telling me that humanity is experiencing massive energetic shifts right now to anchor in the new timeline we've jumped into. Yes, it's an Ascension timeline, and it's not the last one of this year. So whether you're feeling fatigue or exhaustion, anxiety or depression, manic, emotional ups and downs, lack of inspiration or motivation, aches and pains, or the dizziness and nausea plaguing me this week, the list is endless. Every human is unique, and no matter how starseed you are a human being on Earth moving from 3D to 5D, from a dense physical body to higher frequency light body. So the timeline jumps this year are not going to end, and the intensity of them may or may not hit you. It depends on how you deal with the symptoms. It depends on your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, whether you're riding a wild wave of energy or seeing subtle changes in your life. So let's talk about Ascension symptoms and why they matter so much in 2024. If you're on a journey of personal growth or spiritual awakening, you might be feeling these things like fatigue, anxiety, or confusion. This year, it seems like it's hitting even harder. This isn't the first wave we've had this year. I feel like it's my fourth or fifth. And it's crucial to understand what's going on with this. So first off, I'll dive into the common challenges that people are facing with these Ascension symptoms. You know that feeling when you wake up and you're just exhausted, even if you had a full night's sleep? Or worse yet, if you've woken up 6 times in the night, so you already know you didn't get a full night's sleep. That's fatigue kicking in. And then there's the anxiety, like a wave of panic or worry that just washes over you out of nowhere. And of course, the emotional upheaval. 1 minute you're fine, the next you're crying over a commercial, the next you're checking out of a conversation because it's all just too much for you. That's all part of this timeline shift that's happening right now. Our bodies are trying to adjust to a new frequency, and it can be super tough to navigate because the process of ascension and using timeline jumping to get to a new frequency means that we up-level, adjust, get comfortable, and then like the rug being pulled out, we up-level again, and the cycle continues. You know, in American sports where you move from JV, junior varsity, up to varsity, then maybe to collegiate, and perhaps even the Olympics. Or better yet, in martial arts, when you move up belts as you master a level, you get a different colored belt. Well, you're going from the big fish in a small pond back to a small fish in the huge pond, in the ocean. That's ascension. And the timelines are the new martial arts colored belts. So you quote unquote master a level, and then spirit, God, universe ups the frequency by several different means. As the frequency gets up leveled, you find yourself back at the bottom, experiencing the symptoms and learning how to operate your body and life in this new vibration. And remember, the sun, the earth, Gaia, the elements, wind, water, mountain, trees, and the elementals, fairies, dryads, etc., as well as animals, both wild and pets, they're all playing this game with us and for us. So many of them are assisting, holding space for us to merge into the new frequency, while some, like pets for instance, may be feeling the ascension symptoms even more severely than we are. So remember, ascension is expanding your awareness and consciousness to a new level, understanding more, feeling more, returning to more of your soul knowledge. The end goal of Ascension is to return to your true self, your soul self, to your source self, by way of expansion, not physical death. Remembering other lives, remembering things on a soul level, this assists you with Ascension, as does timeline jumping, which can be seen as steps on a ladder to keep humanity rising up out of 3D, even though it's not up-down. It's expanding outward. It's growing the sphere of energy. So I'll use a non-hierarchy example. Timelines are like pages in a journal. You can be writing on one page, and then you're drawing pictures on another. Then the next page could be more mind-expanding thoughts you've jotted down or more contracted ones. Timelines are infinite, and some jumps are very small, and some are life-altering. Some are forward, and some feel backwards. Now, hint, you are never going backwards. We are always ascending, but sometimes we may feel like we took a step or 10 back, and we have to in order to take a different path forward. So here's a timeline example. If you and a friend were going out for pizza tonight, and last minute you decided to try out the new Thai restaurant, well, that puts you in a completely new timeline. You've timeline jumped. You drive a different route, you meet different people there, it changes your trajectory entirely. It may not look like it on the outside. I mean, dinner is dinner, and it's with the same friend. But I assure you, you've jumped timelines. And the new place you're eating in, and the new people you meet, that changes your future. Again, changes your trajectory, either minutely, or in the matter of a car accident or of meeting your beloved, changes your future majorly. So how do you recognize the new timeline? And do you have to? Well, if you have that spiritual ability, then you sense it. Things may look the same, but you just know you've shifted. And if you don't sense it, that's okay. Just look around at your life because you are getting signs. How do you feel? What's happened recently? Are things getting better? Are they getting more intense? If they feel worse, if you feel like you're going backwards, then that's a sure sign that your timeline is complete and it's time to jump. And that's where you get into manifestation. So yes, you have to pay attention and look for the bigger answers to questions in your life. And you have to remember, your guides, your angels, your soul, source, God, universe, they're all informing you. They're all nudging you. I have a podcast episode on timeline jumping that explains this in more detail, so I'll leave the link in the show notes and in the YouTube description if you're listening over there. So with both timeline jumping and ascension, it's about being intentional, using your awareness to notice and accept your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, then expanding that awareness to see the bigger picture of your life and life on Earth. So expanding that awareness means when you realize and accept your thoughts and feelings and actions, do you want to change them? Do you want to manifest better thoughts, better feelings, a better life? Meaning when I started feeling more dizzy, more nauseous, more loopy, I could have thought, what did I eat earlier? Is that making me sick? Did I have an unpleasant convo with someone and that energy's getting to me? You can check things off a list, or you can immediately go to your guides and angels or go inward and realize you're shifting. This is a good thing, whether it feels like it or not. And as always, no judgment, no criticism. I could go, why do I feel so icky about this? Shouldn't I have mastered these symptoms by now? Why aren't I feeling better? No, none of that. There is no rule that spiritual people ascend easier. If there were, I'd be off this planet a long time ago. But nope, it is what it is. You accept it and move on to overcoming the symptoms to anchor into the new frequency, to use this timeline jump to up-level your life. Okay, so what are some of the strategies, some of the processes and methods to manage the timeline jump ascension symptoms, or even rise above them? First, I'll say mindfulness practices. Just a few minutes of meditation and or breath work can make a world of difference as it helps ground you. It brings you back to the present, brings you into your spirit and energy rather than the physical, mental, or emotional discomfort you're experiencing. I always say, meditating for 5 minutes 10 times a day does far greater good than meditating for an hour in the morning and then having life knock you down in the afternoon. So be consistent and you'll see consistent results. It gets easier and lasts longer with consistency. And there are so many YouTube videos of short meditations. I have several on my channel, and breath work practices. So look up alternate nostril breathing or box breathing on YouTube. Both are very quick and easy and only a minute or 3 long and very effective at activating your vagus nerve and taking you out of fight, flight, or freeze, putting you back into spirit, putting you back into your multidimensional mind and your light body. Next would be movement. Yoga, Tai Chi, dance, and even better, do it outside in nature. Ground in Gaia. Raise your arms to the sun. And if it's too much for you to be in the sun, then do movement, do dance, do anything out in the shade right next to the sun, and you can step in and out of the sun for a moment of time. You don't have to stand there for 10 minutes letting the sun blast everything off you. Remember, there is no time or space. So when you step into the sun, raise your arms up and say, okay, clear me out, clean me out, blast all this out of me, make room for expansion, for higher frequencies. You can do that in 10 seconds. Doesn't have to be 10 minutes. But if you want to spend 10 minutes, go for it. So anchor into nature, anchor into Gaia, who's helping us utilize the light codes coming in from the sun, the moon, and more. Remember, movement releases toxic masculine or feminine energies that are stuck deep within you, and it moves us into a place of divine neutral, which is dramatically important for ascension. We're moving from duality to oneness, to unity. That's a big thing about these timeline jumps. And that's why, even with all of these crazy symptoms, I feel the calmness. I feel more of the divine feminine energy, the receptivity rather than the manipulation or control. So it may look the same on the outside. It's up to us to know that we're different. We've shifted. We're different on the inside, and we're starting to see different on the outside. Okay, lastly, dietary changes. Eating more whole foods, taking in less sugar, and staying super hydrated can really help your body cope with all of this energetic intensity. More hydration and using electrolytes, especially magnesium, which helps your energetic body, that helps us for ascension as our bodies are electric and we're made mostly of water. Now, these are just my suggestions. I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. And you need to see your doctor to see how to ease symptoms within your physical body. And whether you should eat vegan or carnivore for ascension, it's always a personal choice. I've been both. And I'll tell you, eating dense food does not make your vibration denser. It doesn't make you more physical. It can ground you, and it can be very necessary sometimes, but it doesn't keep you in 3D. There are so many reasons to eat a certain way every single day, and differently perhaps every day. And know that plants and animals and Gaia are all here to support us in the 3D matrix game and in ascending out of it. So choose the food that honors your body in the moment. Your body will tell you what it needs. Put your hand on it and say, should I eat this today? You know, sometimes you feel like heavy food. Sometimes you feel like a smoothie. It's different for everyone, but our soul is always telling us how to eat today. So honor yourself. Okay, all of the above practices that I mentioned can shift you into a calmer state when everything feels chaotic, confusing, or lost. But the biggest one is shifting your perspective. Instead of seeing these symptoms as burdens, recognize them as catalysts for your growth, your ascension. This change in mindset can be incredibly freeing, just as being in the void, being in the liminal space, what we think of as confusion, it can be incredibly freeing. I have another video on the void that is really helpful for feeling lost, confused, dizzy. So check it out on YouTube. So instead of feeling overwhelmed View all of these changes as your body's way of shedding old layers, making space for new energies, making space to download the light codes that uplevel our multidimensional DNA. So a simple shift in perspective can alleviate so much of the stress and confusion that comes with these ascension symptoms and these timeline jumps. So remember, thank you, universe. This is happening for me, not to me. And it's helping me up level to a better, higher, happier frequency where I can manifest more, where I can come into the creations of my dreams in my inner world, where I can ascend. Before we wrap up, let's hear what Gaia has to say about these ascension symptoms from this latest timeline jump and what we can expect the rest of the year from the upcoming solar storms, timeline jumps, and light code blasts. Oh, welcome, dear ones. You have indeed done it. You have timeline jumped. You are in an all new reality, an all new timeline, and it's going to continue to shift and grow and expand. Do not look outward looking for changes. Look inward, gathering your changes so that when you are looking outward, you know with utmost faith and trust that the changes are here. Whether you see them or not, the changes are here. And yes, you will start to see them in your outer world. They will become evident. But we ask of you, do not lose hope and faith and trust. Believe that the changes are here, whether you see them with your outer eye or not. You feel them with your inner heart. You see them with your inner lens. Understand that the solar light codes blasting from these solar flares and these solar storms, they are up-leveling you. They are indeed. Reach forward, reach up to more love, more honoring, more compassion. Know that you are being supported anytime you step outside, in the grass, on the road, in the water, on a mountain. Know that all of the elements and Gaia, me, myself, we are assisting you. We are grounding you. We are helping you to anchor in these higher frequencies. It is time. Reach for the higher frequencies. Reach for the solar light codes. Reach deep down into my inner core, to the crystalline core and the deep core crystal. For there, you will find higher frequencies that assist you with these symptoms, that bump you up to the next level without experiencing the kind of pain, trauma, or suffering that you are used to in your human life. Reach deep down into my core, into the core crystal, or reach straight up to the sun, to the moon, to the cosmos. We are all here assisting you, and you're doing it. You will see the changes in your outer world. You will. Stay strong, stay positive, stay open. Okay, so if you're on YouTube, share what your experiences with Ascension and the Ascension symptoms have been this week. Let me know in the comments below. What tips and tricks have you been using? And more importantly, have you seen any changes of this new timeline? Let the community know. And thank you so much for listening, beautiful soul. And I will be back soon. I've got a great practice on releasing hidden patterns from past relationships that Spirit downloaded within a client session. So I'm going to record that next, and that will really help us ease into this ascension process.